Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. Today I am actually going to be doing some trailside camping, and namely cycling overnight, which is basically a loosely fitted term to mean when you're cycling to a location or you're just simply on the move, like doing a continuous ride, and you choose a campsite. So in this case I chose none other than my local metroparks here, Five Rivers Metroparks here in Dayton, Ohio. And I'm at Eastwood Metropark, which is a place I've been to a lot for birding and just nature and outdoor photography in general, really. So this is my first time camping here because they recently added some trailside campsites, actually just one of them at least, as far as I can tell. And so I decided to make a reservation basically, and camp out for the night here. And it's gonna be perfect weather. I didn't even bring the rain fly for my tent, just because it's gonna be some nice cool temps around 70 or 80 degrees. Probably drop off to even below that once it hits, gets pitch black and everything. So it's gonna be a beautiful late summer here. There's basically no breeze or wind at all, so it works out perfectly. I'm not even really breaking a sweat, or at least on the ride here. So yeah, it's about 12 miles I think in total to ride my bike here, of course, because this kind of trailside campsite means that you can't park your car or anything. It has to be people that cycle, like I did for this instance, or people that through hike, like on the Buckeye Trail, which happens to pass through this metro park as well. So I'm really excited to just hunker down here and spend the night here, maybe cook a meal here in a moment or later on. So I got about less than an hour of daylight, but first I'm actually just going a quick wander here with the camera. Like I said, not my primary purpose for being here. Simply I'm just trying to enjoy the evening and the night as I get to utilize this campsite here. But at the same time, there's the ulterior motive of photography, of course, which is always with me. So I'm going to take a quick wander here along the paved footpaths and the bike path that goes along this metro park, and see if I can get some golden hour shots. So I'm traveling very, very light just for this trip overall, because I don't want to cycle with a huge hiking bag, especially my big one that I have. So I just got my Osprey Daylight, which is basically a day pack. I just got my 2 water bottles on my bike along my bike frame. Minimal setup really. I just got my sleeping pad, my ultralight pillow, and then basically the bare bones essentials for the tent, like I said, because there's no any rain in the forecast. So it's very bare bones. And then my bike helmet, and the frame is all back there too, of course. So just keep it real nice and simple. Brought a book to read and all that stuff, of course. So that's pretty much it though. So, and in terms of camera gear, also doing the exact same thing where I'm traveling really light. So no tripod with me. In this case, I just got my 50mm prime lens and the lens hood attached to it as well, and my Canon EOS 80D with no battery grip. So it's traveling very, very light, and I'm just gonna wander and just shoot handheld simply and see any potential images I can get. But so yeah, it's gonna be a fun little wander. I got really nothing too much set in stone. There's a couple spots over on the other side of the metro park over here. Maybe hopefully the golden hour light is still glistening on it, because there's some small ponds and some beautiful, ornate curved bridges that you can walk across. And I've been thinking about getting maybe a shot of that or two. So we're gonna see how that looks, I guess. But so let's go ahead and just take a quick wander here and see if maybe get some images for the night before we really settle in for camp. So now that I pitched my tent, which I always recommend you do that first before you really try to get any sunset images, get to your campsite early, of course, and basically get all the work done so you can focus on the more creative and fun stuff. All right, so I found my first subject actually, and it's just this beautiful, it looks like a pine, some kind of bulbous pine looking tree, and it's bathing in golden hour light. It's just striking right through this kind of like light band over here. So I'm gonna try and frame up something here a little bit farther away, like I said, since I am restricted to this prime lens, versus having a zoom lens, which I usually have for most of my photography. That means I might have to physically move around, which is no problem because they have this whole grassy lawn and the parking lot on this side behind me. But I'm just gonna frame up this composition simply because I don't know how much time I have really with the light, because it's probably gonna lessen over time and degrade, which it looks like it honestly is before my eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick shot. But like I said, 50mm, I'm shooting handheld, probably gonna be about 150th of a second. And so it's a little bit slower shutter speed, but a lens like this isn't gonna hold me down and way too much. So my shutter speed can slow down a little bit more comfortably than I normally would. And then shooting very wide, about f4.5, and then about ISO 800. I might bump it up to 1000, depending on how much light I want in here, in the scene here. So, but with this landscape shot, I might even try some spot metering as well, just to meter for the entire tree here. But honestly, I feel like evaluative metering might work best in this case. So, but I'll try both and simply see what happens here. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly take the shot, like I said, before the light degrades a little bit too much, and see how it looks. But it's a really beautiful moment out here, just taking a nice simple walk through the Metro Park. So we'll go ahead and take the shot, and I'll show you the results here in a moment. One of the things that makes the sunset so special is just watching that light just evolve and change, and it does it in such a rapid fashion. So the second I took about 2 or 3 shots of that tree, the light just completely went away. So as the sun obviously gets lower in the sky, and so I'm moving up on this tree line over here. So it's very, very shaded woods, as you can tell. So lighting's going to get very, very really tough to get. That is even I find a shot there to shoot handheld with, which right now I don't really see a point, but I'm gonna go out to the other clearing on the other side of the Metro Park here, and see if those bridges look like anything worthwhile to shoot. But it worked out pretty well. It's a little bit higher contrast, as I can tell from viewing the histogram, but the shots should be something decent, I think. So let's go ahead and keep walking here. All right, so I found a nice composition here. I've just been just kind of eyeballing it, really. There's a handful of these same bridges just sprinkled throughout along the flowing river here, and I feel like this is the best one. And the composition, it's okay, but like I said, I do have some limitations, which I feel like in this result will be something worthwhile, to actually work with limitations instead of just having my whole kit and arsenal of lenses. So using this 50mm right here, just right by the water, simply, I feel like it's going to work best. But the lighting is basically non-existent, and I don't feel like it's really going to be worthwhile. So I did take about 2 or 3 test shots, and I feel like I'm going to return here in the morning, since I simply am camping here. It means I can just walk along this path and quickly get here before sunrise, hopefully. And hopefully it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to try that out here in the morning. But I feel like my photo op, it's pretty short-lived already, and I'm going to go back to campsite and cook dinner. So I'll see you in a little bit. So yeah, it's nice to get these types of images or these ideas in mind, and just be spontaneous and creative with the photography itself. And so that's what I'm really most looking forward to in the morning, besides just taking it easy, like I said, and just camping and quite simply enjoying the experience outdoors. But right now I'm going back to campsite, like I said. But you're probably wondering, with the title of this video, when am I actually going to get to the topic? So I apologize for making it this long of a wait, I guess. So yeah, it's just something I've always struggled with, I guess. Not really so much right now. I mean, I'm feeling mostly all right, but it's just that pressure of always trying to produce better work and constantly improve. And I feel like that's just a flaw with a lot of creative people and artists in general, and photographers included, of course. So just always trying to strive to do the best you can, which it's not in of itself is good intentions. That's not really anything to be ashamed of course, but when does that become too much? And this is something I actually recently talked about on my podcast with Henry Doyle. We both collaborate on. It's called the All Outdoors Photography Podcast, which maybe it's something you can check out. But we talked about mental health in general, with in regards to outdoor photographers, and just the whole thing in general. And that was that, oh wow, this beautiful view over here of the Great Miami. Wow, check this out. Sorry about that. I just got so distracted by the nice view of the river there that runs through the Metro Park. And there's tons of these swallows just diving around, circling overhead, and I believe they're catching tons of insects that are just floating or hovering or above the water here. So that's really, really cool. But there's tons of them, the swallows, but very cool birds. But anyways, I'm getting distracted here. So yeah, we talked about on the podcast, and I'll link it down below, of course, and everything, because I think it's worth your while. It's a really important topic that it's at least near and dear to me, to raise awareness on, and just have an open conversation about, which I'm glad me and Henry had a very sensible and just really great conversation. Just the two of us just talking about how we both feel about all this stuff. Yeah. I was not expecting to see, pass anyone on this little trail here, but yeah, just a really great conversation that we both had, just discussing how we both felt about the topic, and just talking about all different branches of it. Simply mental health, just cleaning burnout, just isolation, just wearing yourself down sometimes and just getting stuck in a rut, and all that sort. So it's a great episode, and as I said, it's worthwhile checking out. But anyways, I discussed at length, which I wanted to on the episode, about burnout itself, like I said, in regards to what we do or what I do. And so I just felt like it was nice to make just another video just to tack on as a supplementary just discussion to have, I guess, on this channel. And so burnout for me, it takes many forms, I'd say, for a photographer like myself, and it's just something that I can struggle with a lot, like I said earlier, about producing better and better work, and getting yourself down sometimes if you don't achieve those results or those seemingly realistic standards, but really they're not. It's just almost too much to bear. And so that's been a problem with me over time and over the years, and especially in regards to this YouTube channel. Actually, it's just just thinking I can do it all and do it all at once, especially like going to a new location, which fortunately I've been to this place a number of times for photography, and so I know it pretty well, and I'm not worried about producing amazing images all the time, at least. But there's times where it's like it's like you just get to a new location and you want to just see it all, I guess. It's like, I call it being the tourist, which I'm very much so guilty of, many instances. And that's just you want to see everything that there is to see, and just photograph whatever you can, and you just want to do it all, like I said. And that's just not such a healthy way, I think, of going about it, especially when which we also talked about in that podcast episode about romanticizing nature, and with all these quotes and stuff, which once again I'm not exempt from. I'm totally, I guess you could say, guilty of doing myself, but just making it seem like nature is just this nice thing, and it's relaxing, and in a way that's what it should be, but when you're trying to make like a business out of it, and or just you want to improve and hone your craft, sometimes you do get kind of lost, I guess. You lose your way from that, and just enjoying the experience of being out there. And so it's nice to tie it around, I guess, with what I'm getting at, is that going out camping like this, that reminds me of just being out here, cooking a nice meal, reading a book, sipping some tea. Like that's all a part of the experience for me. And so this is a nice reminder, and just going on these camping and backpacking trips, or even cycling for that matter, just something that's still outdoorsy, and something that reminds me of how much I enjoy the experience of being out here in nature. And so just taking advantage of that, and really putting the camera on the sidelines. Like, I almost didn't take it to this trip, but I just felt like it'd be a nice way to document the trip itself. But even that's not necessary, because a lot of phones have amazing cameras, like mine does, and I could use that as well. So those are just some ideas, I guess, food for thought merely. But yeah, it's just something that burnout's like just such a real killer, though. It's like something that really, it can drain you, at least in my case it has, as I talk about my own experiences here. But just something that drains you. It makes you really unmotivated to do anything, I guess. Like, I'll put off editing videos for weeks on end just because I'm simply tired. I'm just tired of just everything, I guess. And then trying to make a business on top of it, like working festivals and stuff, and just doing all these galleries and receptions, and being as an introvert too, it's like all that gets exhausting with the socializing, even if it is my close friends and stuff, people I've met in the industry. But trying to meet new people, repeatedly talking about my work, and just trying to make a living out of it, that can be tough. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm complaining too. It's like, I'm not really. I mean, I don't think I'm trying to be. Like, I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I've gotten, doing all, like I said, those festivals, the galleries I'm in, anytime I can publicly view or put my work on display, anytime I can get out hiking like this. Like, I'm grateful for this moment right here. I think just getting out here and enjoying nature, like, this is it for me. This is all I need. So it's like, and just camping and stuff. Like that's all I need, really. You know, images are great, but at the end of the day, it's about the experience, about being outdoors, and just enjoying it for what it is. You know, photos are not, you know, or even good photos at that. So it's just all this going, you know, tying together, I guess. And so I feel like that's what I'm really trying to drive home with this video, is that, you know, the photos and photography is great, but I mean, if that makes you lose sight of everything else, you know, especially, you know, like in my case with being an outdoor photographer, it makes you lose sight of everything else about, you know, enjoying the experience, then, you know, that's where I kind of, I guess, question the healthiness of it, you know, and just, you know, the questioning the why of doing it, you know, the why of always trying to strive to you know, be better. You know, like, what am I potentially running away from in my own life personally or something? So just like everything about that just, you know, causes burnout, and it can be a tough way to get out of it. You know, it's a tough hole to climb out of, and you know, see from the other side of like why you're doing that, I guess, you know, simply. And so sorry if I'm rambling, but you know, I guess at this point I'm just kind of rambling about, you know, my own experiences, at least. And like I said, you know, it's something that, you know, it's just small, you know, battles, I guess, and just being grateful for all the experiences you do have, of course, be it, you know, just camping, hiking, backpacking, if you get an image or not, even if it's not a great portfolio worthy image, just enjoying what it is we do, and to keep on doing it, but, you know, not do it too much, of course, where it does get very exhausting, and makes you question, you know, whether you should, you know, hang it up for, you know, a time or something. But I guess that's the other next important thing to mention, is to take a break. I mean, if you really need to. I mean, like right now, like I said, I'm not too burned out at the moment. You know, I'm just, you know, discussing my thoughts, you know, looking outside of it from, you know, where I would have like an episode where I am just, you know, physically, mentally exhausted or whatever. But I feel like it's important to take a break as well, which I've done many times, be it for like the video work I do, or just even the photo work as well. So, you know, I'll take like a month or something and just not even take images, but I could be busy with festivals and gallery stuff. But simply because I'm just, you know, focusing my intentions and my energy on doing those instead, you know, the public outreach and promotion of my work, instead of actually, you know, creating new photographs or work. So so I'm just, you know, diverting my energy towards that instead, taking a break from the creative stuff. And then once I get a break from that, go back to the photo work and video work, and do a lot more of that, and the more creative stuff, of course, and, you know, getting out and, you know, getting on my feet and moving around, which is probably what I enjoyed the most out of the two, if I'm being completely honest. But you know, we're trying to make a business out of it. I guess it's like you have to balance the promotional, the marketing, and all that stuff too, of course. So it all goes hand in hand. But you know, at the end of the day, I do enjoy it all, you know, even if there's a preference. But so yeah, I feel like it's important to take a break, you know, when you can, and just realize, you know, take a step back, you know, put up the camera for a while, and just you know, focus on other areas of life that you may be, you know, possibly be lacking in, be it your friendships, relationships, or just other hobbies and interests simply. Even if you're not trying to make a business out of your photo work or even video work, you know, just trying out different things in life, like cycling, as you can tell, is I kind of incorporate into the photography and videos. But you know, that's something that I'll just take rides on without any camera, and just enjoying that whole different experience. So just find different hobbies and interests you can get, and just, you know, spending time with other people, and just kind of shutting off the photography lens, no pun intended, and just, you know, enjoying experience with being with other people, or going on hikes with other people without worrying about the camera, which, you know, I do a lot of, because, you know, of course, a lot of my friends are outdoorsy, nature-oriented people, which is great, and surrounding myself with that. But yeah, just taking a break and just trying to be much more of a well-rounded person, and stuff like that's really important. So I've rambled way long on enough, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But you know, I think I'll just call it quits there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook dinner here, right almost to the campsite, and yeah, so I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, everyone. Uh, did not get much sleep at all. Which is funny because I went to bed. Usually I go to bed earlier than I normally would, just at the house because it gets darker out. I'm just reading a book and chilling out, but I did not get much sleep at all. So I probably sound really groggy. I just kind of sat there. I mean, it's just like so much noise and stuff, even with my earbuds in, playing some binaural beats and stuff. And just, yeah, it was really tough to really get any sleep, if I even did at all. I can't honestly recall if I did. So, pretty tired, but I woke up at 6 in the morning. I can already tell sunrise is coming up, fast approaching now. Probably about less than 40-ish minutes. But I'm quickly making my oatmeal breakfast and some warm water. Just something nice and warm because it is very, very cold, and I'm not quite dressed or prepared for that. So I'm gonna do that. I may start tearing down camp now and just have everything ready, and then just cycle all the way over to those bridges and be ready for sunrise. So I feel like that's what my first plan of attack is, and then eat my meal here, and then just make my way back home. So so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, I guess, and we'll see how the rest of the morning goes here. All right, so I just quickly biked away, cleared out the entire campsite, pitched, tore down my tent and all that stuff, ate my little oatmeal breakfast and everything. So now I'm out here. It's just hit sunrise unofficially, but there's still some tree lines and stuff that it needs to climb over overhead. So I'm back at this first bridge, the one that I already took the composition of when it was much more flatter light, after post sunset late last night. And so I'm gonna wait here. I'm just gonna stick out this position and just see what happens with the light, and hopefully, if I'm lucky, it's going to cast a glow just in the entire bridge right there. And I'll frame it up quite nicely, I think, with the 50mm focal length here. So like I said, it's mainly just going to be the waiting game right now, and just seeing quite simply what happens. But for now, I'm just going to stick around here and just watch as light develops and everything, which looks like it hopefully will. I have no doubts about that, so I'll talk to you in a little bit. Alright, so the light's really starting to form now on this bridge here, and it's doing something I actually was not anticipating originally, where it's wrapping around the bottom part of the curvature of the bridge, and it's just illuminating it, and it's very, very interesting, I guess, to say the least. It's very, very cool. I mean, it's different. I don't know. I was not expecting that to happen. I was thinking something much more just straight across, almost like front lit, basically, this bridge. But now it's actually a lot cooler, I think, overall, with just having it wrapped around. And just this small little, very, very subtle amount of light really adds a difference, and it adds this more kind of like dimension and depth to the scene, which looks really, really awesome. So I already got a couple of shots here. I'm just simply centering the subject and doing some frame filling compositions, and I'm doing that mainly because of the reflections in there. So I want to keep everything symmetrical as much as I can. But I might try some other shots where it's like just off-center to either the left or right. Really doesn't matter. I'm thinking so far with just composing with the camera and everything, I'm thinking having it off-center to the left side, but we will see here. So on second thought, I think I'm just going to settle upon this composition here, the one I just took a few moments ago. But I settled upon doing, like I said, just some frame filling compositions that center the subject in question here. And I was about 1/100 of a second, f7.1 in ISO 800. I'm shooting handheld, of course, 50mm lens, no filters, and stuck on evaluated metering, and just simply metering for the bridge, and just incorporating that reflection, like I said, and then that small band of light that was wrapping around the bottom side of the bridge here. So yeah, pretty good morning out so far. So I think I'm going to call it quits, but hope you enjoyed this video, and then my little ramble in the middle there about burnout and everything. So it's nice to take a break every now and then and just put the camera away, or just try something different like I'm doing here, and just finding new ways to express yourself creatively and everything. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone, and have a great day. Thank you.